Welcome to part 6 of Module 1. And in part 6, now we actually hitting the tarmac, getting on the road and look at the crux of the matter, which is risk, which is the focus anyway of this course. So we obviously begin with the definition of risk. And I know probably 90% of you who are actually going through this course have done some kind of risk management courses and have your own definition of risk. So in a moment, I'm actually just giving you a snippet of time for you to just reflect on what is your definition of risk. So I will run through 3 definitions of risk. Of course, there's quite a number of other definitions of risk, but for the sake of this course, I'm providing 3 definitions. The first definition of risk is by the Project Management Body of Knowledge, PMBOK, and they define risk as an uncertain event or condition that, if it occurs, has a positive or negative effect on a project's objectives. And out of this definition, I want you to basically underline 3 words here. One is positive, the second one is negative, and the third is objective. We will get to look at these attributes once we're done looking at the other 2 definitions. So let's look at now the second definition, which is by Prince 2. This is a UK risk standard called Projects in Controlled Environments. I actually got a certification under Prince 2 some time back. And the definition of risk there is that it's an uncertain event that, should it occur, will affect the project meeting its objectives. And what I want you to underline there is project meeting its objectives. And again, we will get to look at those attributes. The third definition, which is probably my favorite, is by ISO 31000 and ISO 31010. The definition of risk there is that it's the effect of uncertainty on objectives, whether positive or negative. And what I want you to underline there is the effect of uncertainty on objectives and positive or negative. So I did indicate that we kind of highlight a few of those words that describe what risk is by the different entities. But let us now look at the 2 critical attributes that we can actually pick out from all those 3 definitions. The first attribute is that risk can be positive, and positive risk is actually defined as an opportunity. And then risk can also be negative, and that is defined as a threat. The second attribute is that risk can actually be assessed in relation to the impact on objectives. And this is very, very critical. You do not just define risk out of the blues. It must always be in the context of the objectives of the project at hand. So in this case, you've got to look at your farming enterprise. What are the objectives of why you're actually getting into pig farming, into poultry, horticulture farming, or cattle ranching? Once you actually outline the key objectives of why you're getting in there, whether it's also fish farming, you have to look at what's the impact of anything that might affect you meeting the various objectives that you outlined for the various enterprises that you are embarking on.